Ta-da, see?
Yeah.
Now it's recording.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to try to act as normal as possible. This is really weird for me.
Yeah, I'm
not used
taking
to being on
pictures
video,
of
but
everybody.
it's important, so.
All right. Would you like telling the viewers your name?
Hi, my name is Michelle Kosh, and if you were watching this video, you've already gone to my website called Support Michelle Kosh. And today, I have my skipper here, and we're going to try to explain to you what is really happening. Because I'm sure a lot of you are confused, like, what is going on with this young lady?
Yeah, you're going to learn my photography.
I'm going to try to be as normal as possible, because this isn't my normal
Okay.
forte, so.
How long have you lived in Lincoln County?
I've been in Lincoln County for a little over 3 years now.
Okay, you want to tell us a little bit about the issue and why you're here and how it all got started?
I ended up here actually out of the evil doings of my employee and my old commercial landlord, which I am currently in suit with also the First National Bank of Omaha. And we're getting ready to go to trial. It's been a very long 3 years. It's been a long 3 years.
Okay, so you want to tell us exactly what got you posting all this? Who's behind pushing your buttons, I guess?
Well, all I know is if you look at my site and you scroll up to some of the things that I've already posted on Support Michelle Kosh, which you will see on the date happened about last March, when Mr. Earhart actually went in and illegally did a self-help blackout on not just my business, but also my personal belongings, like my tax records and my social security cards and my children's social security cards, which you will also see later. Please go to trial. It's in November. And which you will see that he has really extorted himself in the end, for I have him not just on documentation but also recording, trying to extort me out of more monies for my tax records. Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah, indeed. Going to trial or court. Do you have a representation, or are you representing yourself?
See, what happened is, if you scroll down through my Facebook, you'll see an email to a Rand E. Overton. And if you Google Rand E. Overton, you'll see that this isn't the first time that he's done something dirty or deviant. And Randy was a dirty district attorney in Lincoln County, and he did something illegal. And do not ask me why he's even practicing law in this county anymore, but he is still practicing law. And at the time, I was very close to my time of essence. And what that means to you folks that don't understand anything with the courts or lawsuits, that is the amount of time that you can go after a person for the injustice that they do to you. So I was getting close to my time of essence, and I was desperate to have an attorney because they locked me out, man. You know, they locked me out.
Yeah.
It's all in who you know in a small town, not what you know or it's what you have and who you know. That's what it is. That's what it's all about.
Can you define the Patriot Act?
Yeah, I'm kind of in shock. I just realized it myself. You see, I have just finally, after, well, I guess I should tell you, I am self-representing, and what happens when somebody takes your life is God leads you. And he led me into what you call a free law library, and I've been studying for 2 years as my own attorney in this case of fraud and identity theft, and that's where the U.S. Patriot Act comes into place. The U.S. Patriot Act was basically designed years ago for several reasons, and it's a very highly diversified act in itself, but for me, in my standing, in the case that I have, it basically means that governmentally, big banks like First National Bank of Omaha must go through certain protocol for the government, and so do I myself as a small business owner. So as a small business owner, I have to have certain things like what they call a tax ID number. I have to incorporate me as a business somehow. I have to have certain documentation that actually makes sure that the government knows that I am in fact an American and who I am is who I say I am. And in return, what this U.S. Patriot Act is supposed to do for me as a small American business owner is that the big banks are accountable for hiring one individual person who all their job is to do is to make sure that in fact I am who I say I am. You see, there was a lot of money laundering going on in the 80s and whatnot, and that's part of what created this Patriot Act to be put in place. So for me, what that was supposed to mean as an American, when I jumped through all the appropriate hoops as a small business owner and I did what I was told to do per the government, they turned around and let me fall through the loops. Well, First National Bank of Omaha believed my old employee when she said she was my business partner when in fact she was not at all. And they took my business account and they continued to utilize it for her purposes. And they began to charge me interest every month. Okay. And they did it continuously for over a year. On top of breaking about 12 different statements in their own contract that I signed that would be our bylaws of how we would present ourselves as the business we are. So that's what that is, and basically that's what I'm doing is I'm trying to get my identity back.
Okay, now you mentioned the law of color. You want to explain that to the viewers?
It was really weird, like right before my time of essence, which I in fact made it by that day by the blessing of the Lord and my beautiful angel Eddie Hall. And it was really weird because right before I was going to file the suit, really strange things started beginning to happen in my life. And at the time, my youngest son was living with me, and very, very scary things like death threats. And then I started getting pulled over by the same police officer on many occasions, and others as well. And they were all charging me for the same thing, which was what they were claiming to be an invalid driver's license, and that I was driving without a driver's license, which was a lie. I was driving with an Arizona driver's license that was legal and valid. But they fined me, and when they find me day after day after day. I'm getting pulled over once a day for well over a week, almost 2 weeks. Every time I get pulled over, I'm getting cited for the same thing. How weird, right, guys?
So would that be local county or state officers?
That is Lincoln County Police Department.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
It goes so far as to, if you look on my Facebook, you will also see that I do in fact have Geico insurance, that they start pulling me over when I'm not even driving. I'm not even driving and they're pulling me over. I just finally get myself a new car after they impound my other one illegally, without a search warrant, without any due process, without any cause or recollection of reason. They impound my old car and they leave me on a Friday night in the rain at 10:30 p.m. without juice on my phone. I had a big box of pictures of my kids.
Wouldn't that be kind of like a dog chasing a parked car?
Yeah, they didn't even give me a reason why they were towing me. They just told me to get the hell out.
Okay.
It was a long weekend and I lost a lot of revenue over that weekend. Yeah.
All right.
And then that Tuesday I went into the office with a handwritten letter claiming my rights as, you know, the fact that they just did this to me illegally, unprofessionally, unlawfully. They didn't exercise due process. And lo and behold, in Officer Hill, which, any of you in Lincoln City know an Officer Hill, guys? Any of you? Please go on my Facebook, support Michelle Kosh, and let me know. Anyways, he's the one that relinquishes my car finally that Tuesday. I guess I'm supposed to be grateful that they paid my impound and towing fee? I don't know.
Since they were doing all this rather covertly, I suppose somebody should pay for it besides
That's just
you.
the beginning of the harassments. They pulled me over so many times that I just had my information right here in front of me. It was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
So how would you like this all to be played out
I
at
just
the
want
end?
justice is what I want, and you know, I want the county to know what really happened to Hottie's Salon Boutique. No, I didn't screw it off. No, it wasn't anything of doings but greed. Greed is what it came down to. And if you go to court in November, in county courthouse, you'll see it all unfold in trial, because when I filed my complaint suit, I filed trial memoranda, which means I have a right as an American to let my people decide the restitution of what I should receive for the things that I've had to go through. There's so much more to my story, you guys. I'm like an onion. It's so crazy what has happened to me. And I want to share it because I know I'm not alone, number one. And number two, I have my rights. I want my life back. I want my identity back. And I want my money back from the dream that I created. Hard-earned money that I made to come down to make this American dream, a small business owner, happen. It wasn't just what happened to me in the beginning, and then what continued to happen was just crazy. It was crazy.
Would you do anything different now that you've been through this so far at this point in time that you did in the beginning? Now that you've done your research and know a little more of how things should work.
No, because I found my home here, and I love my Okies, and I found a higher cause in my community, and I saw the needs that are really needing to be met, and I'm hoping that within this suit that it brings monetary means to that, because I'm just giving it all away. I found myself in this process, and I think that if there were any regret, it would probably have been that I didn't stand up before I stood up. But how can you stand up when somebody leaves you face planted on the ground with nothing? It's been a very, very crazy journey, and I'm here only by the grace of my angels of the Lord. So, no, I wouldn't do anything different. And I'm just grateful for everybody that has helped me, including the person that I can't wait to tell who has created this Facebook page for me alone. And you, of course, my skipper, who's been there for me unconditionally. And no, because I love my county and I love my home, and nobody's going to push me out. Nobody's going to steal and rob from me in the middle of the night like a thief on my birthday and get away with it. And I'm certainly not going to have anyone claim that they are my business when they are not, because I worked hard for that. And I did it legally, I did it right, I did it governmentally, and I don't deserve this shit, man. I don't deserve it. And you know, shame on them for not taking the account and the accord. Just because I'm a small business owner doesn't mean I don't matter. We're the ones that keep this shit going. And I don't like that my identity has been chose for laundering, is what I believe, but hopefully it will come out in courts, and hopefully, pray God, that somebody that is not connected to the media and government will pick my story up so we can expose them more and we can get to the bottom of it so it doesn't happen to anybody else's life.
What do you hope to do when this is all over? For yourself, for your community, or the Okies?
I want to see my kids, help me see my children.
You want to bring your babies home.
And I want to make jobs. And I want to free my babies, my Okies in this fishbowl, because as Americans, we all have a right to certain justices, like the right to make a living, the right to be able to drive a car that's not broken down, because there's no source of revenue here, because it's been such a dictatorship in our own community, and I'd like to see that broken down, and I'd like for my people to stand up and realize that they have the power here, and they can make change in their community so our children can grow and be solid and have a better education. Just because we're impoverished in this area doesn't mean we have to stay that way. There are resources for us, and we need to utilize them. And we need to stand together and realize that it's not these people here up in the county that makes the change, it's us. We're the people, we have the right. And the only way that we can exercise that is to do it together and to realize what your rights are. So please follow, support Michelle Kosh. I'm trying to educate you as well, because trust me, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I stand alone for the people and the people alone. I represent no one but the people, because that's what I am, a person. And we have our rights. We need to start doing that, or else we're going to suffer even more. And trust me, my Okies have suffered immensely. They're so programmed they don't even realize it. So I hope that they're listening.
What would you like the viewers to do when they...
Share my page. Please share my page. Keep sharing my page. Share my page. Please share my page. It will make all the difference in the world. It will help us all make a difference in this world. See, that wasn't hard, right?
Yeah,
It was good enough, right?
I hope so.
Explain everything.
You'll have to
Thanks, Nick.